have much time now, so I have to discuss frames. And in the analysis of frames, we will analyze this with side sway or without side sway. So, wala niyo po ano ha. I-delete ko. So, okay, for example, okay. Okay, this is frame. And this was our A and this B. So it is fixed. And this is our C and that is hinge. Okay, so if you observe, the support A and B are fixed. Okay, so any book you can, as long as we are guided by our course outline, you can use any book, no? Katong akong giingon ninyo, you can use Hindler na book, you can look it from the internet, or any book you can use any book as long as guided ta. Guided ba ta sa ato ang course outlines? Per topic will be frames. So, manata sa B, kamo na'y bahala kung expound. If you have some questions, you can tell me. So, here, for the frames, as what I've said, we can analyze this using with side sway and without side sway. So, for example, we have this frame. Okay, so here, that is fixed and that is fixed. The support at A, fixed ang support at A. If we write or if we illustrate the elastic cord A, there's no rotation. So for fixed support, there's no rotation and there's no translation. So your core will be like this. Okay. Port B, your elastic core will be also like that. So you have zero translation and zero rotation. But for C, there is a rotation. But you cannot also translate. So you have here a rotation. Sa B pod, so if this is our joint D and E, sa imuhang joint D and E, pwede siya mo rotate. Maka-rotate ang imuhang joint D and E, pero dili siya ka-translate because of this member. So ay imuhang D, pwede siya mo rotate. Pero dili siya ka-translate tungod kay naamang kay member sa C, nagtapot man siya sa imuhang C. So this makes your joint D cannot translate. So dili siya mo irog. The same po sa imuhang joint E, dili siya there is a rotation sa imuhang E, pero di po siya maka-translate because connected man siya sa imuhang sa imuhang joint D. Okay? Ang joint D nimo connected po siya sa imuhang A, support A. So, ang mahimo lang sa imo sa D, mo-rotate lang siya. Pero dili siya maka-translate because of the member CD and because of the member DA. But for joint E, di po siya maka-translate tungod kay connected po siya sa imuhang member DE and member BE. Only rotation. So if we will draw the elastic curve for this, okay, since ang D and E is rotate, then we know that the elastic tangent line of the elastic cord, it is value of our rotation. So we have to draw the line. Because tangent of that line is our elastic curve. So here, this is our theta D. And this is also our theta E. Okay. Here also, sa geometry, you also have your theta D. And here is also your theta E. Okay. From that, we can draw our elastic curve. So you can have this tangent line, the tangent of that line, or curve is tangent to that line. So we can have this, and also here we can supposed to be ang change sa imong elastic curve, that is the point of inflection. So if you determine the moment of this member, then you draw the shear and moment diagram. So that is the change of your curve. That is the point of your uh, PI. That is the point of inflection. So where your changes of your observe na to. Okay. Sabta na lang na ninyo akong drawing. And here's yung mga point DE. Member DE. You can have this one. Tangent line. Okay. So, things like that. Okay, so our load will be like that. Okay, so if your load is with an angle or incline, so you have to get the X and Y component of your P para ka makarotate no, at any support. So here, this is also sa MA, this is also your angle or the angle of rotation, that is T. So if you will draw the elastic curve that is tangent of the line, is your curve or your elastic curve. Okay, so I hope you understand this one. In getting the if your frame is can be analyzed by with side sway or without side sway, you can determine by using the degree of freedom. So the degree of freedom, this is the formula. That is 2J minus 2 times F plus H plus R plus N. Ang J, that is the number of joints. F is number of fixed support. H is number of hinge support. R is number of roller support. And N is the number of inextensible members. So looking back to our frame, can you solve their degree of side sway, degree of freedom of side sway, or side sway degrees of freedom, that is SS. How many joints are there? 5. Okay, how many fixed support?
2.
2. How many hinge support?
1.
Pila ang hinge support? Pila ang hinge support?
Isa, ma'am.
Okay, usa. Pila ang ruler support? Usa. Pila we don't have the ruler. Only hinge. So, 0 atong roller. How about the members? How about the members? Ilang members, ha?
4, ma'am.
4.
Pila may imuhang degree of freedom?
4.
If we substitute it to the formula, pila? Pila na siya. Substitute ninyo ang ng equation. So, pilang siya, class? I-compute ninyo ako sa stop function.
Negative.
Taro nga o compute.
Zero, ma'am.
How about the others?
0, ma'am.
0, ma'am.
0. So, unsa sabot kung 0 ang degree of freedom? Guess. Hmm?
Determinate, no?
Guess, ma'am.
Okay, so
Naka-off mo.
okay, so here, looking back our figure, by checking the side sway degree of freedom, okay, na-compute na ninyo, that is equal to 0. So it means if the side sway degree of freedom is equal to 0, that frame can be analyzed. Okay, this frame can be analyzed without side sway. Okay. Since your side sway degree of freedom is equal to 0, so this beam can be analyzed without side sway. So this frame. So this frame can be analyzed without sway. Okay? So that is your analysis for that frame. Okay, if I have to take, so is the if we will draw it again. Okay, you have that way. So if I will draw this again, you have here like this. This is your A and this is your B, and C. You have here your C. Okay. So in that case, if I get this one, this member, okay, if I have to get that member, A still can be free from, or no, it's not free. And A, the support A, kay fix man na siya, they cannot neither rotate nor translate. Kay fix man ang iyang support. Yet, sa imuhang B and E, pwede sila maka-translate. Pwede po sila, no? Ang joint D maka-translate, ang joint E maka-translate, maka-rotate. Okay? This equation sa imuhang side sway degree of freedom, pwede ni siya na ito gamit either ang imuhang swaying, if you have ang imuhang translation, sorry, if your translation either horizontal and vertical, so in the analysis of the swaying of your frame. So here, looking back again the frame, ang A ag B ra nimo mo dili ka translate, dili po siya ka take. But ang joint D and E, they can rotate and they can translate. So if we will draw again the elastic curve, pwede man siya maka-translate. So whatever displacement for your joint D, the same displacement also for your joint E. Okay? Maka-translate man siya. And you have your load P. So if you have here your load P, inclined siya, you have to determine the component, the X, Y component. So since ang imuha dire, ni-translate siya, so na siya displacement. So it can be vertical or it can be horizontal. Okay, so pag-translate ana, ni-change ang imuhang elastic curve. So here, we will here, pwede mo-rotate man siya. So, that will be the rotation, no, of your D. And this will be also the rotation of your joint E. So, in that case, ang mahitabo ana, since this is not free for rotation, so your elastic curve will be like this. And here, yan siya, then from a point of inflection, we change yung direction sa yung curve. You have that one. Here, tangent to that line is your elastic curve. And here, you have tangent also to this line. Ako ang sa usbon natin. Okay. Okay. So here, ang imuhang kuan, pero man imong rotation. So, and then at point of inflection, you can have okay. Then here you have tangent to the line is nakuha na tayo ang sa mga. Para lang. Anyway, di siya go to scale. So this is your theta T, and this is your theta T. Sa nasayop na po class na sa nasayop ko sa mo balik. Okay. Wala po napil ang displacement ano response na ko. Diri nigikan imong tangent. Kaya na siya. Then ano siya. So, is it gagawin mo? Okay. Ano natin? Very. Okay. Then, you have here at 1. And this is okay, so nakalisod ko. So more or less, this is your elastic curve. Ang kani po, kanang blue, that is your elastic curve, ha? W1. Okay? So, kung inyong hangpan nun, this is your delta. Ano, this is your D. And this is also theta D. Theta E. Okay? Can you compute again the side sway degree of freedom for this? For this pila ka joints? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4. You have 0 roller. You have 0 hinge. You have pila to ang sapat to ang F. You have 2 fixed support. And you have 1, 2, 3 members. So what is the sway degree of freedom? Looking back for this frame.
1, ma'am. 1.
1. So here, for the degree of freedom of this, that is equal to 1. So it means, unang diri sa member DA, that is the member DA, that is subject. So there is one member that is subject to translation. So it means frame is subject for sway. So this type of frame, you will realize this with side sway. Degree of freedom diha nga 1, it means naay usa ka diha nga which indicates that it can undergo joint translation. So that is the member DE. So said, whatever displacement sa imuhang kuan joint D na imuhang displacement sa imuhang joint E. So this frame will be analyzed using with side sway. Okay? But another ang po na drawing on also the same. This frame can only be analyzed without side sway if the load will act at the symmetry or the axis of symmetry. So depende na siya sa iyang condition. So if the loading condition will be subject or will be located at the symmetry or at the axis of symmetry, so there's no translation of the joint. So walay translation sa imuhang joint if the loading of that frame be located at the axis of symmetry. So, for example, if this is the axis of symmetry, okay, that is the axis of symmetry. So your frame can be analyzed no side sway. So this will be trick frame. Okay, subject to symmetrical or symmetric loading. So it means ang imuhang loading is at the axis of symmetry. So what is that mean? So for example, no, atong gas lang man. So if your load is at the axis of symmetry, this can be analyzed with no side sway. Okay? So you have to remember that one. Ang condition A, frame without side sway. So the side sway degree is equal to 0. So kung inyong tan-awon na nyo i-analyze ang kada member, there's no translation. No? Asa member nga walay translation, walay rotation. Asa member nga pwede siya mo-rotate pero di siya ka-translate. So inyong hanang tan-awon na. For B, the condition for B, your B, the degree of freedom for the side is equal to 1. So it means there is a member that is, or there is a member that can translate, no, can undergo translation and rotation. You have to check, okay? That analysis, that frame is with side sway. But we can still analyze the frame without side sway if the load is at the axis of symmetry. So even though you have here the support A and B, fixed ang imong support, ang D nimo ang E, they are free from rotation and there's a possibility na di translate, but we can analyze this without side sway because of the loading. Ang loading nimo naaman siya sa axis of symmetry. So dili gud na mo translate. Only siya mo rotate. Okay, I hope you understand that one. So I will give you an example. So, na ko example for this. Okay, so we have here an example. The load is 64 kilonewton and the moment of inertia is for the member A and BE, that is equal to 1. Then the member D twice ang imuhang moment of inertia. What you have here, constant modulus of elasticity. Okay, so this is 1. So in this problem, we can analyze this frame using or without way because the load is at the axis of symmetry. So you are going to draw the elastic curve that is the blue one. So kung ana ang iyang itsura sa inyong elastic curve. So we will use in the analysis of the frame using deflection method. You can analyze this using moment distribution method also. Okay, so here, for the slope deflection method, we will follow the steps. So we have to determine the fixed moment at each span. Okay, so we need to get the moment of each member. So since our load for DE is concentrated load 64, we don't have the fixed end moment for member AD and member BE. So that is equal to 0, only member BE and BB. Sorry, member DE and AD. So we have formula negative PL over A. Okay, that is equal to negative 64 times 10 over A, that is negative 80. For member AD, that is positive PL over 8. So you have positive 64 times 10 over 8, that is positive 80. So next, we have already our fixed end. And we need to determine the beam stiffness. So we can use here, since ang imuhang E is constant, we can use also the relative stiffness. Here, for our point support, we have support A and B. We don't have displacement. Delta is equal to 0. Delta is equal to 0. So your psi, that is delta over L, it is also equal to 0 because we don't have a displacement. As again, there's no displacement for this because ang imuhang load na asa symmetry or axis of symmetry. Okay, so we have that one. For the beam stiffness factor, we have I over L. So the I for the member AD and member B, that is I. For member DE, that is 2I. So again, we substitute it to the formula, that's I over 6. And sa member DE, that is 2I over L. I told you last time, in order for you to be convenient in your solution, you are not dealing the variables and fractions. We will let the I, we will assume I as the common multiple of the length. So our length there is 5 and 6. Okay, ang divided by 10. So gi-reduce ni siya to siya 5, no? So we have 5 and 6. So the common multiple of 5 and 6. So ito ay that is I over AD, that is I over 6. And this is 2I over 10. So we have 5 and we have 6. The common multiple for 6 and 5 is 30. List So we have 30. So we can have 30 divided by 5. So that is 30 divided by 6. So we have 5. And A, which is 30 divided by 5, you have 6. Anyway, this is only, ang purpose lang ani is mas dali ninyo masolve ang moment. Ang rotation, mumubay na siya because of the assumption. But the moment, parehal na siya. So you can try this at home. Pwede ninyo na, kung nandiyon mo solve, tanawa lang para maka-explore mo what is the difference between making it 5 and 6, making it I over 6 for your K and I over 5 for your K for DE and ED. You can solve it with your own. No, if you have, ang ako nang ihangyo, you have to solve this based on what I have told you, I have teach you to solve. If you have some study aid materials there, you have to solve it based sa ako ang gihan ninyo because gikan ako diha, ako na nang na-solve. So gitagaan lang muna ko unsaon pag kanang way nga mas dali ang inyong solution. Ang inyong halang is you can compare your answer based of my ways o kanang sa inyong study aid material. And you can compare the answer. As lang, ang imuhang values imong rotation, diha ra na magmatter, but the moment, pareha na siya o resolve. Okay, next is the joint addition. So here, for our theta at A and B, we don't have the rotation there. So because fixed imong support, so equal to 0. But you have there the theta for your D and E. Okay, so we have here the theta. Okay, you have here theta D and theta E. So is equal to 0. We don't have the displacement. Okay. For the joint condition, for the joint D and E, we have this formula satisfying the static equilibrium equation. The moment of member DE plus DE is equal to 0, and the moment of member ED plus moment EB is also equal to 0. So after that one, we will substitute it to the slope direction equation. Since delta is equal to 0, so ang sine mo equal to 0. So ako na lang ang galit ko class, no? You have to substitute it to the slope deflection method. So upon substituting it to the slope deflection method, okay, you have there the beam stiffness. Okay, i-substitute ninyo na sa slope deflection method, the formula there. We have the near end rotation and the far end rotation like that. So you have to substitute. Kung inyong bantayan, gibalir na po because for the second, for the number nga opposite niya, the near is at A, then the far, sakto ba? Ang far end, because this is the near, no? This is the near, this is the far end. Okay, okay. Muna ako na lang nang gibalik. Gibaliran na ako. Here, this is the far end and this is the near end. When you have D to A, para mausa ang unan sa equation, the so-called theta L, and sa second term mo ay theta D, ana, para dili kita mag-isip. Okay, so here 0 imong psi upon substitution for moment dA, that is 10 theta D, that is equation 2. So here for the member DE, you have negative t plus 12 theta D plus 6 theta E, that is equation 3. For member AD, you have 6 plus 6 theta D plus 12 theta E, and that is equation number 4. Then you have the member ED, that is 10 theta E, that is equation 5 for the member BE, that is 5 theta. So we have now our moments. We need to determine the rotations value para maka-substitute, makakuha ta of moment. Okay? So looking, we have the condition. So kung inyong tan-awon ang atong mga equation dire duha ka terms or duha ka variables at kuhaon. So we need to determine or looking sa atong joint condition, moment dA plus moment dE is equal to 0. So we have to substitute the value of this. Then proceed sa algebra. We have to add like terms. Okay? Ang constant aton ipalahi. So we have this equation, that is equation 7. We have 2 theta d plus 6 theta e is equal to 80. We also have another condition, that is moment ed plus moment eb, that is equal to 0. So we substitute again the value of the moment. We can have this equation 8. Okay, so we have equation 8. So we have equation 7 and 8. So ang ato ni depende ninyo sa inyong i-eliminate. For me, elimination ako ang gigamit. Kamo kung naamoy laing method determining the theta d and e, it's up to you, no? As long as you have to determine the rotation. Okay. So here 7 and 8. So by elimination, I have to subtract the equation 7 by equation 7 to 8. No? Subtract na ko, or I have subtract equation 8 from equation 7. I need to multiply any constant that makes them pareha, so that I can eliminate. Ang akong gi-eliminate is the theta d. So I have to multiply na 6 sa equation 7 and equation 8 for 22. I have this equation 132 theta d plus 360 theta e is 480 minus 132 theta d plus 484 theta e is equal to negative 1760. Okay, so multiplyan ninyo ng equation 7 by 6, equation 8 by 22. Okay, looking back sa rules sa algebra, sa subtraction, we need to change the sign of the subtrahend. That's why kanlak diha akong change. So the positive change to negative, the negative will be changed to positive, then proceed to addition. Sa may rules addition, for like terms having different sign, you have to subtract, right? And carry sign of the larger number. Muna siya kuan. But in addition also, if you in adding like terms having the same sign, you have to add and carry common sign. So that are the rules for the adding of like terms and subtracting terms. So here we have negative 132 minus 132. That is 132 plus negative 132. The operation is addition. So in all terms having different sign, you have to subtract. Diba? And carry the sign of the largest number. So 132 theta d minus 132 theta d, that is equal to 0. But positive 36 plus negative 484. So we have to subtract because they have like unlike sign. Then carry the sign of the largest number. The largest number is 484. So 36 minus 484, that is negative 448. Okay, so we have 2240. So theta A is equal to negative 5. Ano tayo theta A is the rotation at joint A. We can substitute this one. There's equation 7 or equation 8. Isa't asa lang anak mo substitute. So you have there the rotation at joint A is positive 5. So once you have your rotation at E and D, substitute it with the moments. We have 25 for AD. For D8, you have positive 50. Member DA, you have negative 50. For member EB, you have positive 50. So member AB, you have negative 50. And member BA, negative 25. You can check moment class if you will illustrate this one. Illustrating it siya sa frame, show you how diha. So you take the direction of your moment. So clockwise, positive, counterclockwise, negative. So for member AD, that is, kung inyong tanawon, member AD is positive 25. So that is clockwise direction. So tanawan, you also have clockwise direction. For member DE, no, DE, you have negative 50. Is counterclockwise direction. So you have also counterclockwise direction. Ma-check ninyo na. No? For member AD, you have positive 50. That's clockwise direction. So makita na ninyo, no? That is positive. Then member EB, you have negative 50. EB, negative 50, that is counterclockwise. So you have also counterclockwise. So makita ninyo na siya ang inyong mga value o ang inyong mga sign. You can say that correct inyong value o ang inyong sign once you illustrate it, no? In the frame. Okay, so we have this one. Then we have to determine the delta, the reaction at X. Okay. We have the reaction at X, so we take moment at T. So sa data mo take moment. Okay, that is the take kag moment at D. So we have 6 RAX because this is 6. The number is 6 meters. 6 RAX minus moment AD. So you have to look at this member, that is 6 RAX minus moment AD minus moment DA. So mauna siya yung concentration there because we take moment at A. Okay, we take moment at D. So looking back, so we have REX is equal to 75 over 6, which is also equal for the reaction at BX. That is also 12.5 kilonewton. Okay, so that is the answer. After computing, you have to illustrate. Okay, so this is just only one frame. And I hope you have to study because sunod na po magkataas ang solution. You have to review after this session. You try to review. Then for you to solve, you have to use moment distribution method. I-try ninyo ni observe using moment distribution. Kung saan man niya siya pag-solve using moment distribution method, all frame class, imurang i-stretch out. So, kaning frame, imura siyang ibutang din. So, you have here fix, then ibutang na po din mo siya diha. Then the load here is 64 kilonewton. So, imura siyang i-stretch, then you can solve it like the beam using moment distribution method. So, parihara, fixed end moments sa atong moment distribution method, the same po siya sa fixed ends atong slope distribution method. Galing lang, we have to solve it using the distribution factor. Okay, so you can tabulate this one. Then you try if you can determine or you have the same pairs for your moments. I-try lang ninyo o solve using moment distribution method. Okay? Okay, class?
Yes.
Okay, so you read it at home and you solve it again. Using slope deflection, pag mo makasabot, then distribution. Because next meeting, I will give you an example with side sway. So kung inyong tan-awon, taas na siya without side sway, mas taas po siya kung with side sway. Why? Because we have now the value of our psi, no? Nanatay psi value. We have here our psi value na. So, all the process lang, naka-process lang ang kuan. Naara siya steps in this in solving. But you have to be careful. Okay? Okay, questions? So, anak lang ha, you can solve this. Parihara jap siya sa beam when you use distribution method. Mura ra ka solve og beam, imo rang i-stretch out imong member. Okay? Okay, class?
Excuse me, ma'am. Pwede mo tayo naman ng yung length, ma'am, sa members, ma'am.
Wala din kakatanaw. So, di tanawan niyo.
Ay. Sorry, ma'am.
Ha? Sino ang number DE and EB? DE is 10. Imong load na sa center. So, if we have to reflect here, this is your 6 meters, this is your 5, 5, and this is your 6. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Solve na mo daan ha. Pag solve na mo kay more or paspas na ato ang discussion kay we have less than na lang. All. That is almost na no? Less than a month or 1 month. Exactly. 17. Basta kuan pa ta. Extend pa ang kuan 1 week. But I have to ask you, maybe no, ako lang tanawon because I need to check. I need some time to check your work. Kaya usahay, mag-check ko sa inyong exam. Makaspend ko 2 to 3 days. Usahay na ako ng balik-balikan maka-check sa ka-exam. So, kinahanglan ko enough time. Okay, so if you have some questions, you can ask me, ha? Go mara na inyo ang questions. So, kung na may questions, still have time for your questions. Kung na may questions.
Excuse me, ma'am. Unsa ning DOE?
Ha?
DOE nga ano?
Kung saan? Sa tuting?
Kaning sa DOE nga kuan mo portion sa ano given ma'am ba?
Unsa DOE nga portion sa given?
Ang portion sa DOE nga dapit ma'am ba?
Unsa?
Or unsa?
Ha?
Sa D ma'am ba? Pina siya ma'am or
Ako kasabot sa iyang pangutana.
ang point D ma'am ba? Point A.
Ang kanya dagoyang
Ang iyang support.
Joints, ma'am.
Oh, ang joints niya. Oh, pwede natin yan siya roller. Ang ruler, free for siya, free for rotation man ang roller, diba? So you can assume ruler. Yun sa pa. So, extend basta ang ako napanan. Pwede rin siya mo extend. Kung na-solve ninyo siya nga tindog, okay ra po. You try na to apply it this. Distribution. Nawala na. Okay, wala na may nag-questions. Kay, kung na pa may questions, akong i-leave na ako ano saan. Na-out na siya ba? Balik na po. So, na ba may question? Ang importante lang is the distribution factor. Dili necessary kung sana siya nga type sa support sa inyo nga kuan. Ang in between, no, kung i-stretch ninyo ang beam ay ang frame, mas easier for you to solve. Ang importante lang is the distribution factor, kuan lang jud ninyo ang distribution factor. Inyo na i-tabulate. I-try ninyo. Okay, sige kung yaw-yaw diri, hindi mo mag-try. May nang ka-try. Pag kanin ko lang. Hindi na ako kasunod. Pwede po kuha lang ninyo. So if this is your A, this is your B, D and E. So you can make it as is lang. This is your load 64 kilonewton. But for the distribution factor, you can have that one. This will be AD. This is your DA. So, pwede ra po, bilhin lang ninyo stretch. At siyang akong gingon nga stretching para naman anin sa table. You can have this one, A, this is your D, this is A, and this is your B. You have to get the distribution factor for this. We have here the DF, then the fixed end moment. Okay. Then once you have your distribution factor, you will balance. Then you have to carry over 1/2 of the moment of each support to the other span. So, pwede, ano lang, as is lang ninyo. Then, sa table lang ninyo, like this. Okay? Let's try. So, here, this moment equal to 0. This one is also equal to 0. There is a DE na occupied fixed end moment. Okay. You have 0 sa A, no? Then you have negative 80 ba to? Negative 80 din rin. This is also 0. Sakto ba to? 80 fixed end moment. So, you can try para lang maka-solve mo. Okay, class?
Yan, ma'am.
Okay, ayuhan ninyo na lang niya. So, you can apply that one. Sige. So, any questions pa? I will leave the kuan with the kani ako stop sharing. Okay. So, ano may questions? Nakatawa si Soldero.
Wala pa, ma'am.
May question, Alayon? Di mo, mo kaso question. Wala pa mo kaso. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
About yan, you can solve it with side sway or without side sway. Side sway, 0 yung delta, yung displacement. Without side sway, 0 ang delta o displacement. With side sway, you have the value of your delta, so you have your psi. Okay? Siya'y kuan diferensya na. Pero kung with side sway, mas taas. Depende po, without side sway, loading. O depende sa imuhang frame. Katong sa A nato nga frame, taas-taas pa ang ato conclusion. If we have the frame like sa A, ito kung ipakita ninyo una. Okay?
Kung distributed load, ma'am, uniformly distributed load kay hindi na may point load, ma'am, no?
Dili. Namang kay fixed and moment uniformly distributed load. So kung sa ang load mo, ito yung kapaan o kuan fixed and moment.
Dili naman siya pwede mabutang sa axis of symmetry, ma'am.
For uniformly distributed load, centroid of that is at the center also because you have a uniform load. Why you need to make it concentrated load just to make it like gisolvron? Nga ang imong centroid ana sa imong uniform distributed is still at the center. Diba?
Without sway, gapon pagingaron, ma'am. Distribute na
Without
symmetry.
sway, kaya ang centroid lagi sa imuhang uniform distributed load, naaman siya sa
Sa symmetry.
3.
Symmetry.
Bisag concentrated load siya, kung wala siya sa axis of symmetry, wala sa tunga, nago na siya side sway. So for example, if you have, di ba, 10 meters man to, if the concentrated load naa siya sa middle thirds, so pila man na ang middle third? Nagoy side sway kay mahitabo ang na ko nalimtan dahil ng class. Inside na roller din. Kanang plastic nga roller. Inside na plastic nga roller. Yan, check. Katong roller nga taas. Wala lang ko yung roller. Kita mo
Kaning
sa
mabend,
akong screen. Oh, kanang mabend. Kita Tapos kita mo sa akong screen ang inyong support dire, no? This is the support. Ana, i-try ninyo ang moment clockwise direction, di ba? Muhang magawas nga elastic curve is like this. I-check ninyo ng results sa moment. This is fixed. Kani siya may free for rotation. Diri po sa pikas sa imuhang B, fixed po din siya. Ang rotation po dire is counterclockwise. So ang curve nimo is like this. Hindi na ninyo i-check. Sa imuhang load, going down na siya. So ang rotation nimo is that's counterclockwise gana. So, ang imong curve saka, because of the load, amang kay load mo nang na-siya down. I-check na natin. May itong plastic na, may plastic na roller. Pwede na ninyo madulaan. Okay, so kung, for example, you have this, kung ang imong load, ito akong gingon ninyo, naadiha. So, this is abi 10 man, no? 6 meters and this is 4 meters. So, this is not at the symmetry, axis of symmetry. So, sa may mahitabo, kung nakay frame, load yan, di ba? Musi, ano siya? Takilid. So, that is analyzed with nakay displacement, no? And frame gana mo sa pikas nga load so maadyo siya. So pili muhang displacement diha sa ani nga joint, ani pila displacement pag ana mo po displacement pag ana pagtakilid. So kung nara imuhang load sa axis of symmetry, di siya mo sway. There's no translation. Lagi sa member, tanaw ninyo niya. Okay? Para ka-imagine sa elastic curve, hindi ninyo na gamitin o roller. No? Assume ta atong clockwise direction is positive. Clockwise negative. Sige. Okay, wala na question. Okay, naka-question dai. Okay, is one frame pa ni. So, di pa kayo ni siya taas. So, solution. Later on, magkataas-taas na ato ang daghan na ba ito ang solusyon. Mo taas na ato ang and one thing di ay depende na ninyo unya, no, kung unsay kuan. I can give you 2 exams na lang. 2 exams for before final exam, pero depende ninyo na 2 exams ba o exam na laman. Depende na ninyo. Pero I am willing to give you 2 exams na lang for this before final exam. This pod sa hydraulics, I have to give you 2 exams, but depende na po na ninyo unya. If you willing to let me give you another exam before the final exam. So we still have 1 month na lang to finish all. So I hope makahuman lagi ani, but I need time to check also your exams because ganahan ko sa inyong mga results for taking the final exam. No, nun anak ko, before the final exam, ganahan ko mahatag na ko tanan ang results. So I need time also to check your paper. So ayaw mo stop if ever no, kay ningon ko ninyo once or twice a week ko pwede mag-online. I have something to give you. You have to work it out rin sa atong class schedule. Dili kay pag muhatag ko ninyo tungod wala ko online, mag-rest ra pod mo. Ayaw anak. Ang akong advice ninyo, you have to practice solving. No? Although sa karon, lisod ka i-assess na ko ninyo because you have all the chances to manggod. Dili maguta face to face. Lahi tong sa face to pag-assess na ko kung nakasabot ba mo sa akong o wala. Karon, you can share your answers with your classmates but be careful na diran mo na ko masakpan ha. Kay kung masakpan na ko, you have to face the risk. So you have the chances to share your answers to your classmate, to the GC. You can search the problem. You can open all the possible study aid materials na ninyo diha. You have all the chances to pass, and you have also the chances to answer the questions. Unlike sa face-to-face nga, mag-work lang ka with your own. Ang ako lang is, ang akong gipangayo ninyo is, I hope na nakasabot mo sa ako ang klase kay effort di ako sa pagtudlo ninyo. So, nagpuan jud ko nga makatagpo ninyo at sana makaklase jud ko ninyo. So, ang ako lang, you have to, kung say akong gidis ninyo, you can solve it in my way. You can, then katuoban ninyong study aid materials, you have to check lang as your study aid materials, ha? Then kung may questions, you ask me questions. Basta na ako'y time, pwede ko makatuwag sa GC kung dili ko busy. Okay? So, ang lang is, dapat pasabot mo, ha? Kaya di man na para man na ninyo tuhon. No? So, possible problems na magawa sa board exam, possible topic, ma-discuss ko na ito. Ako nang paningkamutan, ma-discuss na ito. Okay? So, I still have 2 exams left before final exam. Tanawon pa jud nato kay mulagi na ang oras. Pero sa karon murag ako lang sa discuss lang sa ako siguro kay para ta makaapas. Then so karon week mo discuss ko ninyo of frames. Maybe next week we have an exam na next week. Okay, next week. Basta may exam ko ninyo before. Hindi, ato na ng sabutan o niya. No, I still have to give you at least 2. At least exams para mo makakuha. So, wala pa kayo ko kakuan sa inyong mga pagka-check. Tinood lang. Naka-check ko. Gamay pa ako na-checkan. Kiwa na may questions? Rapal, wala questions, Rapal? Nagkakapot mang kag-ruler?
Ma'am.
Yung camera ka ng uban, paliw kog on sa camera. Si Juan Dargod, si Soldado Radio, si Alayon, Zamora, Bautista, Rapal. Mori akong estudyante. The rest are the watcher. They are all watcher. Okay na, tanawa. So, pila na lang mo. Okay. Sana. Hindi kayo ko kakuan ninyo. Hindi lang pakita ko ninyo kanan. Miss, nakay questions? Okay. Wala. Sige lang, Miss. Okay ra. Kabalo kung mo share moment diagram, no? Ano na mga kuan, no? Sa inyong mga strength of materials. Ako ganing mangkuan. Minsan di na kayo gani lisod ang mga loading. Wala na may question, disin, wala may question, hilom kayo mo. Sin, ako rin si Gayaw. No? Wala mong gipanggut. gutom. Hindi ko makakita unta ninyo. Oy, face to face. Ganahan ko makita ka unta, no? Ganahan ko makita sa inyong namo. Makabalog ko kung kuan. Ipangdukang gutom. Unsa man gawat ko ni unsa man mo humanata or mo. Ora mo kuan nangaluya man mo. Samot jud mo kaluya. Kung maluya mo ron, samot jud mo kaluya sa next topic. Maluya mo samot. Kung mas naluya mo no, samot jud mo kaluya. Sunod pa na topic, nagkataas na to ang kuan ato ang solution. One frame pa to. No? Process unya ha kinahanglan. I am expecting you all to know how to determine bar force. Ha? Nakabalo mo pagkuha sa mga bar forces. Kaya kung dili balo mo bar forces, kuha sa akong subject. Kinahanglan kabalo mo. Asa na niyo nakuha ng bar from? Statics, the numerical methods ninyo. Naka-bar forces sad pod mo dito. You have another way. Bar forces is only just an input to my subject. Usar na siya ka-input. So, kung di kakuha ani nga input ka subject, usar na siya ka-pair ba? Step lang siya. Kung dili mo balo sa process, bantayan mo daghan, I don't know. Ang bar process mo gunay ako ang ingon na kinahanglan kay balo mo input ra siya. So no pag shortcut bar forces so kung kabalo pod mo ana ha. So after the frames we will discuss process. Okay, so that is our subjects. For the frames, taas pa ito ang atong kamas ani sa so manday sa frame bahan tas atong time frame. Kung ninyo exam. Tapos nasa gangat gakato siling pod. Simula na po di siya serious for me say. Any questions? Wala na?
Wala na, ma'am.
SO. Walay suga.
Usgan ka sa
Ako wala po ko'y suga.
tuyo.
Ha?
Tuyo ra na.
Na siya kuyog siguro diya.
Wala lang, ma'am.
Amping mo nagkataas ako with respect to lumagiti. So wala rin sa nurse so work from home tanan. So kung na may wala may makita ng mga faculty. I mean, wala i-abre ang office sa engineering this week. Maybe next week maabre na. Okay? So, unsa man? Wala na question nila Victoria? Wala pa no? I know wala pa dyan may question. Kaya wala pa man mo. Pero, balo naman mo sa slope deflection, di ba? Kabalo na mo sa slope deflection. Ano naman sa mga distribution na inyong is suro tungkol sa rotation, manana, pag-analyze kung sa o dili, manana sila. Pero, pareha siyang beam, no? Pag pareha siyang beam. Ayaw mo ka-stress. Kani karon atong gi-discuss, pareha siya sa beam, solve ang frames. Pag sunod na, di na siya pareha og beam. Frames na dyan siya og application. Sige na, babay na. Paano na ta?
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye,
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Ay na.
Happy
Bye-bye,
eating.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye, class.
Thank you, ma'am.